Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Hello and welcome to this Thursday edition of New Life Live. I'm your host, Brian Perez, and we're going to be talking to you guys and giving you help and hope and life, because it's what we do here at New Life Live. And here to talk to you today and help you through everything that you're going through, we've got Doctor of Marriage and Family Therapy, Sheri Keffer. How are you, Sheri? I'm
good. Better to be here with you guys.
Likewise, we feel the same way. Clinical psychologist, Dr. Alice Benton. Hello to you. What's new with you? What's on your mind?
Well, I've got a complex topic on my mind, which is disciplining our children.
Okay.
I find in my work with families, and in my own family as well, that it's frequent that one parent is just naturally better at disciplining and is okay being tough with the kids. And the other parent might be naturally softer and warmer. And complications come up when a parent struggles to discipline because perhaps they feel a lot of empathy for their children. They don't want them to suffer uncomfortable consequences. Maybe there's been brokenness in the family, and there might be parental guilt that children have already suffered, perhaps a divorce or parental mental illness or parental substance use. And so because the children have suffered, the parent no longer wants them to suffer further from consequences. Or if a parent feels really comfortable consequencing their children, they can easily go overboard and be too harsh and lack the necessary warmth. And it's the combination of having great warmth and affection for our children while also be willing to bring tough truth to bear and let them suffer consequences for their behavior that serves them best in the long run. I think over the last few generations, parenting has improved as we've come to understand how much children need to be seen and heard rather than stay quiet and stay out of sight. They need to be seen, heard. They need to be understood and validated, and that helps produce a more emotionally intelligent child. But I think it can put us in danger of going a little too far towards the empathy end of things, and we can be hesitant to discipline. I use a phrase in my own mind to help motivate me because I also don't want my children to be upset with me. I don't want them to be uncomfortable. I want to remove them, save them from the consequences of their behavior. But if I'm willing to give my children solitary confinement in their rooms now as kids, I will be the most loving disciplinarian that they'll ever experience in their life. But if I don't allow enough of it, they may experience solitary confinement down the road from someone who does not love them. Mm-hmm. Loving consequences now safeguard our children from more suffering later. And I wondered if you two wanted to chime in on this. I'm curious if you'd be willing to say, does discipline come easily to you with your children, with stepchildren? Or is it easier for you to be warm, harder to bring tough truth to your children?
What do you think, Brian?
Me first. Okay. Well, I think I'm more of the disciplinarian in the home. But I had a question, though, when you were talking about all this. Do you think some of it might be, too, because of the way the person was brought up, where they feel that they don't want to be the disciplinarian because of how their parents handled the discipline at their home? And I don't know. That's just something that came to mind.
And I see both patterns. I see parents repeating the unhealthy patterns that they grew up with, but I also see them going to the opposite extreme because they don't want their children to suffer what they did in their childhood.
Yeah.
But God tries to warn us about this and encourage us by saying discipline is never pleasant when it's happening, but we will receive a harvest of righteousness if we submit to it. It serves us, it serves our character, because there can be a tendency towards lawlessness in us, and that has to be bridled and reined in so that we can become productive, happy, healthy human beings as we grow.
And that's what we're all about here at New Life Live. We're going to go to the phones in just a moment. Thank you so much for listening today. Thanks for watching as well. Thank you for telling your friends about us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can never say thank you enough. But right now, we're also in the middle of a matching gift. So if you can help us out financially, that'd be great. Up to $500,000, trying to reach that goal by the end of the month.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books, or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to intimacy in marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy in Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy in Marriage Weekend is July 25th to the 27th in Washington, D.C. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And we're going to begin our time on the phones with Laura, who's listening in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, on Channel 131, Sirius XM. Is it true about Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, that everybody there is pleasant? Let's find out. Laura, hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, she sounds pleasant.
Pressure's on.
I have lived here for since 2019, and everybody here is amazing.
It's true.
I have great neighbors, and everybody here is amazing.
And there just might be a few of us that might decide to move there since you just said that, because we can't say that necessarily about where we all live, right?
No.
Yes.
So how can we help you today, Laura?
Okay. A few years ago, I've been a caregiver for 20 years, and a few years ago, back in 2021, I was a caregiver for a place. They're located in Columbia. I had just gotten my associate's degree in business management, and I was upgraded to a weekend lead, so to speak. And one of the people that I was taking care of lied to her mother. Her mother called and lied to my supervisor. My supervisor called me into the office and terminated me that same day because students I was taking care of lied. I don't know how to handle this. I've been trying to wrap my head around this since 2021.
Wow.
And I just tell people, like, look, this is the situation. I've been doing this for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I get a promotion, and I get fired because she lied.
Yeah.
And she lied to her mother, and her mother called and lied to my boss.
Laura,
I honestly don't know what to do about it.
Well, that was devastating and shocking.
Yeah.
Did it end your career entirely, or did you get more work with another company?
No, I work with another company. I've been with BIOS, which is another caregiving agency. I take care of individuals with intellectual disabilities. But I'm trying to improve my life and get something better in the future. I just turned 55 in April. I'm trying to do something better for myself.
Laura,
I live by myself.
It just breaks my heart that it takes words, one stream of consciousness that are incorrect words, for you to have to make a career change.
I know.
And
I know.
I don't know if you had listened to the show that was on Wednesday. I think it was last week. It was last week that we did. And if not, y'all listen to it, because I opened the show talking about lying and the different kinds of lies. And this is different. This falls into a category of another category of lies, which I would call a smear campaign or slander.
Yeah.
Slander. So what is that?
Yeah.
Slander is when someone falsifies information about you that is not true.
Yeah.
And because it came from the family member, right? And then the family member told the patient, and then the patient said something to your boss. It sounds like they didn't even ask you. Did they ask you for your side of the story?
Yes. They did.
Okay. And what kept them from believing you? I mean, you can't read their mind, but I imagine it was probably something that was quite simple. For you to share about it today, 6 years later, or 5 years later, or whatever, on our program, it has hurt you deeply because it was false. It was a lie about your character or about your ability to do your job.
Yes.
And Laura, I wonder if this was not the first very harmful lie that was told about you or that affected you in your life. Had you been betrayed previously?
I know. I know about some other things that I was lied about. I used to work for an agency called At Home Healthcare, and the woman I was taking care of, her mother did not like me per se. She called At Home Healthcare and complained about me doing things to her daughter that was a lie. It was a lie. She knew it was a lie. They brought me in and gave me a drug test and claimed that I had cocaine in my system.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I don't do drugs, so yeah.
So multiple times your career has been under attack by the very people you're trying to help.
Yes.
And Laura, this is not something that's easy to get over when it's happened so many times, when there was such loss in your life because of the lies. And it sounds like nobody fought for you. They just believed the liar. Yeah. Have you received any professional help to process through this?
No. No.
And why do you laugh as you answer that?
Because I live by myself. I am taking care of things on my end. The only person I have on my side is God. and I don't have the funds to go and seek professional help because of this mess.
Laura, when you say the only person you have on your side is God, that sounds like that's been the case for a long time. You're very alone.
Yes.
And you spend your days giving to other people, and nobody but God gives back to you.
Yes.
Laura, can you just tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up? It seems like there was a burden growing up that you also had to be a caretaker for, had to step in.
My younger sister.
So what happened there?
My younger sister had an issue with me being born first. I have no control over that. And she flat out told my mom, I wish you wasn't born first because I should be first.
Mm-hmm.
My sister was going through some mental issues at that time, and I had to basically help her so she could take care of her kids. And my issues went on the sideline because of what happened to my sister.
So it was
difficult.
You've had to continuously set aside your safety in order to help other people that you can't even trust. No wonder you tend to be more of a loner, just you and God, because human beings have not been trustworthy for you. And Laura, when I hear you laugh, I think it's because there's great pain right under the laugh. But laughing is a way that you cope, and it's a way that you keep going. Absolutely. Laura, I so want to invite you into risking yet again to find out that there are safe people who you can be in relationship with, who help move from laughter to the tears that need to be cried, and people that want to be safe for you, because God works through other people. And so as it's just you and God, when we don't have people around us, it cuts off some of those sources through which God wants to comfort, protect, and bless us. But I think it would be, my invitation is very scary to you, I would imagine, because people aren't safe. And the only safe people might be starting with a professional relationship with a clinician, a counselor, who would help you tell your story, walk through the righteous anger you have that people have betrayed you. Because when we get to have our day in court, so to speak, when we get to be heard by another person and they do stand up for us, even if it's just in the therapy room, they understand us, they validate us, it brings grief and it eventually brings peace from the anger that you rightly might have. And that's a way to help process what you have been through, because this has been a lifetime. This is not just this last incident.
No, it's been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's so interesting about your story, Laura? So I have a half sister, and she's older than I am. But when I came into the world, because of all the pain that she came out of, she hated me and has written hate mail, like, when I was a kid. And we have always been adversarial with each other. I actually have a scar above my right eyebrow from, this half sister, as we were fighting with towels in the kitchen. We had to do dishes, and, we got upset, and then we started like snapping wet towels at each other. And then I took off and went running down the hall and ran into a doorknob, and trying to get away from her. Yeah. But, as I think about this scar on my right brow and how horrible it feels to be marked and not loved for no reason other than your birthright. I think about Jacob and Esau in the Bible. Don't you guys think about that, and how the birthright was stolen? And so these deep wounds, like Dr. Alice just said, can fester, and they can grow, and that it's like cancer or gangrene inside of us. It just begins to erode our sense of even wanting to be with other people. And I had to fight that myself, just like you are. I remember one of the first groups I went to, it was a Townsend Cloud group, and it was mixed, both men and women. And I had to go, I chose, I didn't have to, I don't want to sound like a victim, but I chose to go into this group to build connections. And I remember sitting there the very first night of this small group, and I looked over at a guy that was across the table, and I said, I don't feel safe with you. I don't even like you. I mean, you might be shocked that I'm saying that.
You
but
said that.
I said
didn't just
that.
think it.
I don't know. I said it. And he looked at me, and he said, his name is Mark. If you're listening, Mark, I'm not giving your last name, but you know how brave you were. He looked at me and he said, I hear you, but you don't even know me. How can you feel unsafe when you don't even know me? And it was like, for the first time, I saw that oozing place inside of me, that I'd been so hurt by my half-sister. I'd been so hurt by Connor, my story, married a sex addict, right? But I was sitting there in a group of people, and I had to figure out how I wanted to do life going forward. Was I going to be like a feral cat that just hissed at people along the path, or did I want to do some work? And honestly, that group, I was in it for about 4 years, and it did it did a number to help me begin to soften and find out just what Dr. Alice said. There are safe people, but I had to submerge myself into a process where I could discover that. And Mark became a friend. I mean, it was a good thing, but we just want to invite you to a process of healing, because without it, you're going to grow further and further and further away and be more alone. We don't want that for you.
Mm-mm.
I know.
What do you think? Give you a lot to think about, huh?
I don't know where to start.
Oh, well, guess what? You know what you did? You called New Life.
You already started.
You did. You called us, and we're loving on you, right? And so where to start, I want you to stay on the line, because we have small groups. Mm-hmm. And so many different types of small groups where you could get started. They have counselors that are part of it, right? So you're going to have somebody trained who can help draw you out and help you learn how to get connected. And they're all over the place, these groups. They're, virtual. And I just think it's a great first step to your healing.
Yeah.
And we want to send you a book, and I'd like us to send Healing is a Choice, because it then teaches you what next, what do I do, how do I come out of all this pain that I've been living in. That'll be a really good roadmap for you. I'm still a little jealous that you got to be with Cloud and Townsend in a group, Sheri. I mean,
well, I wasn't with Cloud and Townsend. I was with another doctor that works with Cloud and Townsend, but it was all their material. It came out of a Monday Night Solutions. I used to go there and listen to them all the time. I probably would have gotten their autographs if I was sitting there, but it was with one of their therapists that did a great job. Our therapists do that kind of good work.
I'm slightly less jealous.
Okay, all right.
Oh, good. So thank you, Laura, for calling in from Tennessee. We are going to send you a copy of the book, Healing is a Choice. We also have a tip sheet that we want to send you, 10 tips to get the most out of your counseling experience, because we're going to set you up with somebody, but we just want to make sure that you're prepared with the right questions to ask this person, and we'll get that out to you. And it's also available to anybody who calls us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And the book, Healing is a Choice, is available in the newlife.com store. We'll be back in just a little bit here on New Life Live.
Early on, looking at pornography that went into affairs, massage parlors, strip clubs with buddies. Before you know it, you're ashamed of that.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
My wife got a phone call, and she asked me who this person was, and man, how do I get myself out of this one?
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
When she said to me, I want you to look at this website named Every Man's Battle, she had me look, and I said, no, this is exactly where I need to be. This is exactly the problems I have, and I'm gonna go.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Denver, Colorado, June 6th through the 8th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found Life Recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
When you support New Life right now, due to our matching gift, you're helping to bring new beginnings to more men and women in desperate need of healing and restoration, because your gift is doubled. Helping more and more people is our goal, and you can help us reach that goal by the end of this month by giving your gift today. Go to newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text the word match to 28950. And that is how we can continue to help people that just happen to be in life's hardest places. I mean, I've been here for about 4.5 months now, and just all the lives that we've changed through these conversations, and people taking that first step, like our last caller, Laura, who said, well, what's my next step? Or what's my first step?
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah,
it's
you start by making that phone call here to New Life. 1-800-229-3000 when we're here to answer your questions, and 1-800-NEW-LIFE at all other times. So, Sheri Keffer, Dr. Sheri Keffer, you mentioned something about this group that you went to, and you saw the guy across the table, and you didn't just think it, you said it. I don't like this, or I don't like you, or I don't feel safe around you. I've had that happen to me, but nobody is verbal about it. They haven't specifically told me. I don't like you. It's just that vibe that you get from people, and I don't know what it is, but it's happened right now in my mind. So I guess I'm asking for free advice here on New Life Live. But just why is it that sometimes people have this feeling towards you that they don't like you, they don't want anything to do with you, and they haven't even met you yet? They just, I don't know. Is it something about me, or is it them? Or both?
Well, for me, let me just own, and I want to hear more about your situation, actually. If you want free advice, you got to give a little bit, Brian.
Oh,
okay?
man. I think I said that the other day.
Hide the Kleenex.
No, I mean, I was coming out of that.
What have I gotten myself into?
Yeah. I think I was coming out of that.
I think I hear the music. We need to go to break.
Oh,
No,
kid.
no.
He's a little squirrely one.
No.
I didn't know him, and I think it was kind of just activated in the group. I think what happens sometimes is there's a projection. That person might remind us of somebody that they had a bad relationship with or a hurtful relationship with. No fault of our own or theirs. It's not really theirs, but we like a projector, like back in the days when they had movies, and I guess they still use projectors in movie theaters. They project onto a screen. Yeah. Well, you project your pain onto somebody else. That can happen. Was this a friend, close? Who said this to you?
Well, they didn't say it to me. That was the other thing. They haven't said it. It's just that
the sense you get.
So maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay, so here's an example. It's somebody that I see every now and then, and there's more than one somebody, but let me just use one as an example. Yeah. It's almost like they go out of their way. If I'm walking this way and they're walking the other way, it's almost like this. They'll go out of their way to avoid passing me by or something. And on the few occasions that it has happened, when we're in a smaller hall or something, smaller hallway, and it's like there's that person, I go out of my way just to nice and loud say good morning or whatever, and they never respond. And I'm just like, it's gotten to the point where I think it's comical now, where as I'm walking away and the person hasn't said good morning back to me, I just like kind of chuckle to myself like, what did I do? So I'm mostly over it, but it's just funny to me that it's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah. And so, I don't know the situation. There might be something that was said.
Yes.
In the beginning. Like, it's always like, let's go back to the beginning. Let's unearth what happened before you noticed the tension going on, before you noticed you guys passing each other. And, this is your story to work out, but it just makes me curious about you a little bit, if you'll let me be.
Uh-oh. Is it break time yet?
Yeah.
It's still not break time.
Because I wonder, with you even saying, hey, good morning, there's some energy behind that. It's like an energy that might come from hurt, energy that might come from wanting to repair, energy that might hurt from the rejection that we feel. And so it might be our way of attempting to try to just stop the crazy that's kind of going, the energy that seems so negative, because it can do a number on our hearts. I'm sure when I said that to Mark, and we talked about it later, it did hurt him because it felt very shameful in front of everyone else. But I was exposing myself more, actually. But it still went in to his heart. Our words can hurt people, just like we heard in Laura's story. I think it was Laura, right? The story about the caretaker, and words can really damage. Yeah. So it's damaged you, their behavior, even though there's no the words, that it's the tension that's going around. But what do you think you're looking for in saying good morning to them now?
There's that music. Yay.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't know. I think it'd be nice to hear a good morning back. But it's funny because something you said, Alice, to our last caller, I think it was Laura, who chuckled every time that she mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm doing too. When I'm walking past this person, I say good morning. They don't respond. So I just kind of chuckle it off, I don't know. I think there's the part of me that just wants to show this person, hey, I'm a nice guy. I try to be nice to everybody. I try to be kind to everybody. Yeah. And I'm taking the high road here by, even though for whatever reason you don't like me, I'm still going to wish you a good morning. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me wanting to project that I didn't do anything to you. Can we talk about this? I don't know.
Yeah, sounds like you're looking for a repair that they're not giving you. Mm-hmm. And so it might mean that you have to grieve and let that go.
Okay, then I will.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
You know, I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch and listening to all this great information and not paying. So my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We are back here on New Life Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Brian Perez, here with Dr. Sheri Keffer and Dr. Alice Benton. And something that we have here at New Life is our Counselor Network. You've heard us recommend that some callers connect with a counselor for deeper work. This might be your next right step too, and we can help. A counselor can help you with a struggle you're facing, a relationship issue, a trauma that is affecting your present, an addiction in your life or a loved one's life, so much more. We can put you in touch with somebody when you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. There are counselors all over the country, so more than likely you'll find one in your backyard, maybe in some building that you drive by all the time, and you go, "Oh, look, I know where this place is." But yeah, let us help you. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I just want to say thank you for just opening your heart up to us. I do. You know, getting to know you a little bit. It can be very disorientating when those things happen because we really don't know what has changed, what shifted. And when there's been a rupture, it's so natural and it's in all of us to want to repair. Mm-hmm. We want repair, don't we?
We're made for harmony. So when there's disharmony, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So whether somebody's jealous of you, whether they're projecting, I mean, there could be so many reasons, but that longing of our heart, like a GPS recalculating, wants to recalculate back to repair.
Yeah.
You said something brave that I'll admit is hard for me to do, that when we have a sense something is wrong, it's so difficult to go to that person and say, "Can we talk?" That was what you said. Can we talk about this? Because it gives the chance to clear up assumptions. And there are going to be people who don't like us. Maybe it's something real about us. It very often is something about them. But being willing and courageous enough to ask, "Can we talk about this? I feel a distance from you. And I wonder why, if anything happened, if you heard something about me that put you off. Would you tell me?" And so having the courage to do that, it's a risk. It doesn't always work. They're not always willing to tell us the truth. But it's the empowering, because it's what I can do on my side to try to heal this rift. And the Bible tells us that as much as it pertains to us, we're to try to live at peace with other people. But we have limited power over what other people are willing to tell us and what they're willing to do. But I appreciate that you would would be willing to ask that question.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, only because they might just say, my thinking is that they might just say, oh no, everything's fine, and okay, so but another thing I've noticed with these people, they get along well with everyone else.
Yeah.
They don't cross the street to talk to avoid. I mean, they're friendly people, and I'm not saying I'm trying to get into their little in-group or anything. I'm not, I just want to be in harmony. And was there something I did, something I said, something you heard about me? But at the same time, it's not something that keeps me up at night or anything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it now because it just kind of came up in conversation.
Which is good. I mean, this is how we care for one another, right? I mean, we friends have these conversations as we just love each other, accept each other, and want to just get a little more curious about what's going on. But I'm sad because you're a nice guy. And,
well, I try to be.
And it's just sad when we're not in harmony. So
it happens, but it shouldn't. All right, let's get to some questions that were sent in online, because there's a couple of other ways that you can get your question to us, not just calling us at 1-800-229-3000, but if you go to newlife.com/radio, you'll see that there are a few other ways that you can get your question to us, including sending us an email. And here's one from Concerned Mama in Virginia. I have a feeling Concerned Mama is not her real name, but it's what we have here. So Concerned Mama's question is excessive tattooing and or piercing considered equal to self-harm, as in cutting? My key concern, I want to know if my daughter has suffered a trauma that she's unable to talk about. What is your opinion on the tremendous multiplication of this behavior in the last several years? Is there a clear-cut biblical viewpoint on excessive tattoos and piercings? My personal observation or feeling has been pure dumbfoundedness as to what has triggered the American culture of all ages to go from primarily military men having tattoos to both sexes having entire limbs tattooed. So that's what Concerned Mama's question is. So this isn't a question, is it okay to get a tattoo? She's talking about the excessive tattooing, the excessive piercing. She's wondering if there's some kind of underlying trauma maybe in her daughter.
That's a very interesting question of what is the motivation behind it, and can tattooing and piercings become a way to cope with pain or a way to escape or distract? And I think people have very different reasons for why they get tattoos. I was talking with someone who got his parents, a grandparent's name tattooed on his arm to honor them. And I don't think that was at all about self-harm. But I know others whom I've worked with who have gotten just covered with tattoos or with piercings. And it does seem for some people to be a way to escape, a way to get control of pain. By causing our bodies pain purposefully, it can actually feel like a comfort when there is great internal pain that a person doesn't have control over. And so choosing to cut or get a tattoo or a piercing can be a way to take authority over the pain. It's not the best way to heal. It's not what God wants for us, but it can become very understandable when we get to know the story of what the internal pain is.
Sure.
Yeah. And what's interesting, because I've heard this as well, Concerned Mama, and I think some clinicians have begun to look into this more deeply, right? Wondering about it. When you look at somebody who is cutting, for example, it's either that they're feeling too much or they're not feeling enough. And that cutting becomes a way for them to let some things out or feel. There's a great book. It's called Inside a Cutter's Mind by Jerusha Clark. And you may end up getting a copy of that. Just go online. It's not one we carry here. But it might be a way that you can do a little bit more research. I mean, sometimes concerned mamas have a lot of intuition. And it sounds like you're wondering if there's something deeper. You do want her or him to get more care. and you're concerned that there might have been something that has happened. Or maybe it's something that's going on in the house that you're unaware of. Sometimes in households that are busy, lots going on, soccer and lots of activity and kids, it's like the families, we don't stop to really slow down enough to just check in on the deeper things of the heart, on feelings. What was that like? Just like we modeled here, Brian, with you, right? You might have just told that quick story and then we might have stopped there, but we didn't. We went deeper. And sometimes that doesn't happen in families. So that person feels missed or unseen. I'm not saying that's happening in your home, but begin to look at patterns of control, patterns that there isn't enough space for more checking into their heart. I think a good resource for you, concerned mama, would be How We Love Our Kids, even though you don't have a small child. All the principles in there can be applied to children and teenagers. But it may be that you have an avoidant child on your hand who this is a way that they're expressing themselves like the only way they know how, because they don't know how to put words to what's going on for them.
Please consider asking your child, tell me the stories about your tattoos and piercings, because often a lot of thought and meaning goes into it. And at another time, separately, start to ask, is there anything bothering you, distressing you, anything you're worried about that you'd be willing to tell me? And if you ask both these questions in a non-judgmental way, just to get closer to your child, ask with gentle curiosity, you're more likely to get real answers.
I've noticed these tattoos even appearing on people's faces now. They're just putting them all over. And they could be conversation starters. Maybe that's what they're hoping, that somebody says, hey, what does that tattoo on your forehead mean, or whatever. But I can totally see how concerned mama's concern over this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anymore, I've noticed that you see more people without tattoos than with tattoos. So it's almost like if anyone was trying to get attention from getting all these tattoos, it's almost like having the opposite effect now, because they just kind of blend in. Yeah. It's so common, it's not doing anything. And then somebody like me walks in, they're like, oh, look, somebody without a tattoo. But I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Concerned Mama in Virginia, for sending in your question today to us here at New Life Live. And you can do the same thing. You can go to our website, newlife.com, and see the different ways that you can get your question to us. One of them is an email, just like Concerned Mama did. You can also leave us a voicemail, but the best way to get an answer is to call us when we are here. We set aside time throughout the week here to talk to you, to answer your questions, and we've helped so many people this week, and we want to continue helping more people. So give us a call when we are here. That number is 1-800-229-3000. By the way, did you know we have a video library on our website? If you go to newlife.com, we've got over 600 videos that you can watch on different topics, and they will be very helpful. You can watch one, you can share it with your friends and let them know, hey, look, remember that situation we were talking about over coffee over the weekend? Check out this video. It might help you. Again, that's at newlife.com, the video library.
Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but of course we're all about mental health awareness here at New Life, and that's why we invite you to call us, to get in contact with us. We've got so many resources available on our website, newlife.com. And one of the questions I want to ask you, Dr. Sheri Keffer and Alice Benton.
That'd be appropriate.
Yes.
Ask yous.
Why do people seek help for their physical well-being, but not their mental well-being?
Oh, that's a great question.
Sounds like something we could talk about for a whole hour from your little laugh there. I mean, it it's very easy for us to, I sprained my ankle, I'm going to go see a doctor. But when we have these sprains in our mind, we might, it'll go away. We make excuses for not treating. What would you guys say?
I think the stigma of getting mental health treatment has lifted, and the younger generation seem to be much more open to it. So I've been so pleasantly surprised when I've heard teenagers say to their parents, I want counseling. Will you get it for me?
Yeah, we were on a show together where that's what the little kid, the younger teen, 16-year-old said, I need therapy. That was so big.
But it's a new trend.
Yeah.
And I think that the belief that people that are crazy are the ones that need counseling, people that are weak need counseling. I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps. I should be able to do it myself and figure it out myself. I think that both our pride and our fear can keep us from getting mental health help. It's humbling to say, I'm struggling with my emotions or relationships or addiction, and I don't know what to do about it. I think there's less shame in, I sprained my ankle, I've got a problem with my tooth. It's not necessarily my fault that happened, but it can feel like it's shaming or embarrassing if I have a mental health issue more so than a physical issue.
Sure.
You know, there's that phrase, no pain, no gain. You know, I had to do some work this weekend where I was doing a lot of lifting and climbing and twisting. And I mean, I felt my body in places I didn't even know I had. But the thing is when I'm dealing with that kind of pain, like if you were caring for your body or doing a workout or whatever, it's separate from the emotional feelings. Like I was just telling a client this week of mine that I'm doing some EMDR with, it's a male. And I told him this week, I am so proud of you because you are here doing some very deep work on, family of origin hurts. And the fact that he's there, and I'm not trying to stereotype men, but I mean, I think a lot of men are afraid they weren't enculturated to feel. It wasn't safe for them to feel. They didn't learn how to feel growing up. So they're more feeling avoidant. And so as I'm sitting with him and taking him deeper through the EMDR into his heart, where there's actually some expressions of hurt and even some tears, I'm just like so proud of him. Now, why would someone even venture into that? I think because the ultimate goal on the other side is freedom. It's freedom, and it's opening up your chest cavity so that you can actually feel normal feelings. Like whenever you shut down emotions, if you shut down hurt, you shut down anger, you shut down pain, you shut down the good stuff. You can't even really feel elation. And that's why a lot of people get into drugs or drinking or sex, acting out, porn, whatever, because you're trying to numb out something that you're feeling instead of realizing you can feel it. In Ireland, they have this phrase, which I just love. They don't really call it depression, like you are depressed. Mm-hmm. What they say is depression has fallen upon you. Depression has fallen upon you. Mm-hmm. It's not who you are, it's that it's upon you right now.
Yeah.
And so dealing with that, realizing that it doesn't have to be, your identity doesn't have to be threatened because you're having these feelings, and really you're having feelings because there's real reasons you have feelings to be validated for that. There's so much freedom that can come because you get it off your chest.
I saw this last week on the New Life Ministries Facebook page, which, by the way, if you don't follow us on social, you should. We're on Facebook and all the others, I'm sure. But the worst mental health tips you've ever heard. I'm sure you guys have heard these, and you've probably heard more. So maybe we can talk about these and why these are wrong. But these are some that our crew, our social media team, put together, and also some of you added yours to the bottom of it. But the worst mental health tips you've ever heard. Get over it.
Oof. Yes.
Suck it up. Think happy thoughts. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. And you just need to pray more. And there are more, I'm sure, that you guys can.
Oh, those
can
are
come up
really
with.
good ones because they're very fix-it, minimizing things that don't help our hearts, our minds heal at all. They just make us feel more weird, isolated, and alone for the things that we're really struggling with.
Yeah.
And they push us to fake it. So I think the first three are all about faking it. Pretend you're better than you're really doing on the inside. But there's something very inauthentic, disingenuous, and can even be dishonest about that I act like I'm fine, but inside I'm in agony. And we're not made to live in that level of deception. So it also takes such a toll on us to fake good. And when we have safe enough people around us where we can really reveal what's actually happening inside of us, there is harmony that builds from that, grace that's ushered in, and the freedom that Sheri was talking about. But it's by being real about the ugly, scary stuff that happens in our heads and in our hearts. That's where we get the freedom from.
And could that be a reason why people don't reach out and ask for help? Because when they do, they hear things like,
yes.
Oh, get over it. You know, time heals all wounds. You'll be over it soon. Doesn't matter what they call you. It's what's on the inside that counts. You know, there's so much other stuff that we've heard throughout the years. So it kind of frees. And maybe I would think people that listen to this radio program know that we're not going to give you that advice when you call us. Maybe. I'm not saying other radio programs would do that, but it's just something where we're not going to tell you that. We're going to help you get to the bottom of the issue, put you on that right path to healing and help and new life that you need. But, go ahead.
God speaks to this when he says they treat my people's wounds with superficial treatment. Those are all superficial solutions that might shut the person up so they're not crying anymore, they're not upset anymore in the temporary, in the grief period. But God wants much deeper solutions for these deep wounds that we all have to some extent, because we all grew up with imperfect parents and in an imperfect world. And those kinds of emotional injuries need deep treatment, not a quick fix phrase.
Mm-hmm. Sheri?
I just say amen to that.
Yeah. Do you know the reference for that verse that you just
I don't
quoted?
remember.
We'll look it up later. Okay. But it's in there somewhere. No, that's good because it is so true. God is wanting to heal us. He wants to give us new life, and he has equipped us here at New Life Ministries to help with that for the last 37 years that we've been doing this, and we want to continue to do it. And you can help us this month. We're in the middle of a matching gift right now. Up to $500,000 will be matched. We're hoping to reach that goal by the end of this month, and you can help us by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com or text the word match to 28950. Did you find it,
I
Alice?
did.
Okay, let's hear it.
Jeremiah 6:14. They offer superficial treatments for my people's mortal wound. They give assurances of peace when there is no peace.
They say, "Suck it up, Buttercup." When I think that's in the Message translation. No, I'm joking. So again, Jeremiah 6:14. Okay, we'll look that up later. That is awesome. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today on New Life Live. We'll be back tomorrow to assist you with whatever it is you're going through, the mental health struggles, the issues with family and friends, and we're here to help you. And we thank you for trusting us to help you too. God bless you guys. NewLife.com.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.